Okay. Yeah, I think I just have a few comments here. Okay, and I think in general you can add a bit more information about your participants. I just took out a little bit of text here. It's not really necessary to introduce yourself. I would just focus on the participants and yeah, just some small comments there. Yeah, you basically I just have a few grammatical things. I think this information here in this sentence, where you say, let's see, the most relevant answers that were directed towards the objective of the research in order to select the two teachers. I think you can mention that up in the instruments. So yeah, nothing major here.
Well, I analyzed the groups, and when you had more like interaction with the kids, but he created a group like a month ago, so he doesn't have like a lot of posts, but he did interact with students in some of the posts. Well, it's like
So when you say he interacts more, he interacts more in the classroom or just in
like
Facebook.
In the Facebook.
Okay.
It's because I haven't.
Yeah, he can start it.
Interview.
Okay. So he created it. Okay, and about a month ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
He created the group.
Okay.
And this is for each. And in my computer, I have like the general, the name of the students and the times he.
Okay. How does this compare with Carmen?
This is Carmen. Like more with less interaction.
Less interaction from her or from within the students?
Like from both. She uses more like to give like avisos.
Okay, just announcements.
Announcements and like to upload documents.
Okay.
Yeah, and I saw that Tonyo write like information related with their teacher development, and then students comment what they think about that. Like part of the book, but I don't know.
And can you tell if it's part of the requirements, if they're getting graded?
Yeah, but maybe I can ask, like, make a little interview to ask Tonyo about it.
Okay.
More deeply.
Okay. Because that might be another factor if they're like forced to do it, or if they're just doing it for their, it's because they're interested in doing it. Okay. Well, so maybe you need an interview. Maybe you can talk to them first, and then before you decide. Is there a lot of data for each of the group? As far as, do you think including both of them is too much information as far as the data analysis and the data that you're going to have to work with?
No.
Or because I think we talked about last time saying if it was going to be too much to do two.
Yeah, but it's not like a lot.
Okay.
Because the group was created like a month ago, and this one like each time I go to.
But they're both for these current classes, so
yeah.
Tony's been using it for, let's see, we're almost the whole semester.
Yeah.
And Carmen just started for that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That might be a question too, why both of them, how did you decide to begin using the group as far as waiting or starting from the beginning of the semester?
So should I write some questions and begin to there?
If you want to review them.
I'm secure if I have like.
Sure, no, that's no problem.
Before recording the
Okay. So if you want to come up with an interview guide, some sample questions that you want to use, and bring them in, we can look at them. What questions are you thinking about right now to ask? we can kind of brainstorm right now.
Yeah,
What
like
kind of?
the one you mentioned, what you have been are this like graded? Did you ask the student
Right.
to comment, or are they choose to comment, or if they get a
And if they-
reward or a
Right, and if they are graded, kind of find the details, like how many points, like what's the criteria, or if it's just.
Yeah, and well, like I will try to make some questions related with like what I found.
Maybe if they've used this Facebook groups for this class in the past,
And if they were.
and if how they felt about it, if it worked, if it was successful or not. Maybe what they, I guess maybe what they plan to use. What's the goal of using it to think more future? So are they planning on more interaction in the future, or
so like
if this is so you kind of have an idea about how they.
Well, I have a question about the method section, the participants. It's because in my last question, I didn't ask a lot of details, personal details of the teacher, just like the time they have been working in the BA. So that way I don't have like a lot of information. Shall I ask them more like their
You might ask. Yeah, or their education, if you want to include their, like what's their what their master degree is in, maybe. Maybe what are some of the classes in the BA that they teach?
Yeah.
Maybe. And you don't have to list a lot, but I'm just thinking maybe one or two more sentences. But maybe one teacher teaches more of certain types of groups, or you could list out a few groups if there's a comparison.
Yeah, like.
Because one is to see kind of what they're teaching. You could even. I think you mentioned.
I have a question. Well, I didn't mention, but I have all the.
Like here, are you distinguishing between what teacher teaches what?
I only mentioned the one.
So you could say one teacher A, is teaching teacher development this semester, and he's taught different courses, and teacher B is currently teaching this, and she's taught whatever. Yeah. So, I think that would be really the only thing you'd add. Maybe just a little bit more information about them, and if you maybe their education, where they, maybe where they study the masters, or anything you think is relevant to kind of get to know the case, the actual situation, or the course itself. One class has X amount of students. They're what semester? So you can also kind of talk about the group. So it's not just the teacher, but you could also talk a little bit more detail about the group. How many students? Because that's relevant. Is it a big class, small class? What semester I think would be important, because so you can kind of compare.
The group, yeah. Okay.
So I mean, it's not a lot more. It's just maybe a sentence or two. Yeah. Yeah. What else? Yeah. I mean, everything else here is just kind of a small things here. Yeah. Okay. So, take a look at your interview guide. And you might adapt this. You could probably just use the same interview guide here, adapt it. And if it changes, maybe indicate here the first interview, second interview, perhaps. And just have one guide, but just kind of itemize the different types of questions that you ask for each interview if you are going to have several interviews. Yeah. Alrighty.
So.
Any other questions or doubts?
I will try to create the questions.
Okay.
But you're not going to be on.
I won't be here on Thursday and Friday, but if you have something between today and Wednesday, just come on by and we can certainly look at it.
Yes. Well, I will try to.
Yeah. Hopefully you can do it preferably today or tomorrow, so you can start getting into maybe scheduling the classes and start. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Kelsey, you're welcome. See you later.
Bye.